So good morning again. I forgot to hit record at the beginning. Marcy's out sick today, so this is Jan running the office training, and I am at the point of showing you what the work is. So we scroll down. So what's our system? 333. What does that mean? We ask a question, we share some information, and we give a gift. So following the system, it's patching 3 a day. We follow up with 3 a day, and we invite 3 a week to a Zoom. What do we ask? We ask a question, we share our testimonial, we share a link, and we give a gift. We make 3 calls. So when we're calling a prospect, Marcy always talks about watering with love. So the very first watering is the exposing call. And that's when you call somebody and you know, and this is where common sense comes in. Some people have said they've called somebody and go, hey, what's going on with you? You see, obviously, you don't just call somebody and go, hey, what's going on with you? You call them up depending on the relationship. Hi, how are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. How's your husband doing? Or whatever happened with, you create conversation based on history that you have with the person. And then as you get into it, then you ask, so what's going on with you? And then you can dig a little, how's that new job? Or are you working? How's your health? How did you survive through COVID? And you start asking questions, and you always have a notebook and you write down things that they tell you. And then we share our own testimonial, and you want to make it short and sweet. You don't want it to be like a 5-minute. It's just, I had lower back pain. Marcy gave me some patches. I put it on my lower back. The pain went away. And then I got this weird foot thing where my ankle kept swelling up. You just want to keep it really short and concise. And then we share a link. So we ask them, if they would like some information, and we send the link startx39now.com. And we tell them to take a look at that. And if they like what they see, they can text us their address and we will send them a gift. And it's a good idea because if you send them the link, Marcy always says you need to kind of direct them because there's a lot of information. Some people will look at everything. Some people will never open it. And you can just say, you should look at the first video. It's 1 minute long. If you like that, then go to the second video. It's 3 minutes long. I always point out my favorite video is David Schmidt. It's an 18-minute video where he explains the whole process of the X39, how they work, what they do. And that's my favorite video, and explain, you can look at the science and all the, what are they called? The, oh my God, when you get something approved, oh my God, what's it called? Somebody help me. Forget, well, I'll think of it. Anyways, so we make the exposing call. The second call we do is the follow-up call, and then the closing call. So the follow-up call, well, let me go in order of this stuff. And the 4 sites that we use to move our business. So the exposing site is startx39now.com. And that, again, I just talked about that. That's what we send to people, tell them to take a look at it. If they like what they see, send me your address and I'll send you a gift. The site we use to learn how to build our business is startx39biz.com. And then Telegram, which is where we put all our testimonials, all the trainings, everything you could possibly need is right there. And then we all have our own LifeWave site. So those are the 4 sites that we use to move our business. As network marketers, what do? There's 6 things. We make a list. Marcy talks about that all the time. We are of service. I think the most important thing is developing our listening skills. You really need to listen to what people are saying. We educate. We look for people who want to do the work versus people that talk about it. I don't know about you guys, but I've had people tell me how great they are. They come in and they're going to blow this thing up and they know 1 million people, and 2 days later they've fallen off the face of the planet and you never hear from them again. So don't tell me how great you are, show me. And then we're always booking the next appointment. The work we do is easy, but it's uncomfortable. So that's why we work in the office, because it makes it more comfortable. The office work, Zoom working promotion. Okay, so when you come to work in the office, Marcy, if you're brand new, you can do 3 gifts a day. And that they get 5 patches, and you can do 3 people. If you do 2 people in a household, that is considered 2 gifts. And I really need people to stick to this. There's one group of people, I won't mention any names, that tend to, like, I get the stack of envelopes and they have like 4 people in a house and they send in three, one person will send in 3 requests with 4 people in each house. So that's 12 requests, and it's supposed to be 3. So, and that's the kind of stuff that ultimately could break the system. So please don't do that. So each day when we're in the office, we come up with a daily code, and I'll get, the gifting form's coming up. Where am I? Okay, so we announce the daily code, and then when you're sending your gift, you just click on this link. This first part, you don't have to do anything there. So it's going to ask you for the daily code. So you'll put that in. The reason we have a daily code is so we know that you actually came to the office, and we don't want people just going to the site and pulling the form, because people from other, teams that aren't under Marcy, she can't afford to fund everybody. So we this is like the only way we can kind of, keep an eye on who's using the form. So the sender's name would be your first name, your last name, and your phone number. Now, however you put the phone number in is how it's going to come out on the label. So if you don't put any spaces or hyphens, it comes out in one long number, which is hard for people to read. The receiver's first name would go there. If it's a husband and wife, you could put Bob and Sue and just the last name. Let's say it's 2 roommates in the same address. You could put Joe Smith on the first name, and then the second for receiver's last name, you could put Jim Jones. And then I know, and you don't have to give me directions. You don't need to tell me to send 2 sets. I will know that by the fact that there's 2 different names. And also, you don't need to put directions. Like, you don't need to tell me that Susie Q is the caregiver and that John has autism. I mean, it's the stuff that I tell you, I don't make this up. I'm telling you because it happens. So I either have to catch it before I print the labels, or I have to white it out. The post office doesn't care who people are. We just need the names and their addresses. Always ask if there's a unit number. I get 3 to 5 back every day in the mail, either missing a unit number, or you transposed a number sending it to me, or some crazy thing. And then what I do if I get it back, I take a picture of the envelope. Let's see if I just take a picture of the envelope, and I'll text it to you and say, I got this back in the mail, please advise. If I don't hear back from you, I keep track of that stuff because it tells me that you're not paying attention, you're not keeping track of your gifts. So all you have to do is let me know, okay, let me check on that. And then if you send me the correct address, I am happy to remail that out for you. So you just fill out all that information, you hit submit, and it comes to me on a master form. I print out labels. Let's see. So here's one ready to go. So let's see. So it's got your name and your phone number. It comes with a gifting envelope with the 5 patches, a what to expect card, and it goes directly to them on your behalf. So that's what the gifting form looks like. Okay. Any questions so far on anything? Anybody? You can unmute yourself if you have a question. Okay. So here's a picture of what it looks like, except we've added the gifting, the what to expect card. And Marcy actually had another card made with, except I don't like them personally because they're too small. She made these, and it's all the different patches on one card, but it's really, really hard to read. So I'll probably use them up just because I have them. And then on the back, it's the health tracker. So I'm going to use these while I have them. So this is really good. So you can let people know what's going to be coming in their gift. Let's see, what's this? Okay, so if you ever need my information, it's always, you can find it here under this, my email. If anybody needs a gifting bag or any of the things that I supply, you can always email me. I always need your name, your address, and your phone number. Sally is our printer. There's another link that I'll show you where you can order different materials that we have. Okay, so now for the training. What time is it? We're doing good. Okay, so the gifting exposing call. So the first thing Marcy talks about is you need to buy a book, and I don't think they're $5. I think they're like $2 or $3. And you have your list book, and then you have a regular notebook where you keep notes on people, and a calendar book, which I have, and I write down all my Zooms and all the appointments, and it's easy to keep track of. So you make a list of who do you know? Who do you know that you do business with? Who does your hair? Who is your dog groomer? Who is your dry cleaner? And you just go through your phone, go through Facebook, go through whatever you have, and you start making a list. You start with a list of 10. When I first got into networking, they would say, make a list of 500 people, and they would lose me right there because I didn't know 500 people. Tell me 10 people, and that's something that doesn't freak me out. I can do a list of 10 people. So here she's giving you memory joggers of how to find people, LinkedIn, belly to belly. Marcy's a master at this. I marvel at how she does it. We'll be anywhere and she can start a conversation. She literally, hi, my name's Marcy. What's your name? And she's so amazing at how she interacts with people. Belly to belly, compliment. Oh, wow, I love your hair. Where do you get it cut? God, those shoes are great. It's a great way to start conversation. Bring to the office. Bring to the office list. What is that? Bring to the office list from your personally enrolled tree. I'm not quite sure what that is. Organize your phone. Okay, so again, she's teaching you how when you put people in your phone. I don't have the ability to do that with my phone, but she can put people in and look them up by their name, their occupation, where they're from, how she met them. I guess she'll have to teach you that. Okay, making the exposing call. So Marcy always talks about calling, talking and texting and texting and talking. You never leave a voicemail without a text, and you never text without calling, because most times, and I'm sure we're all guilty of it, people call and leave messages, and it might be days before I bother to listen to it. But if you text me, I always answer that right away. And if someone says, oh, I left you a voicemail, I'm more likely to listen to it. So the question bridge question. So you always ask, so what's going on with you? Remember, you don't just call, hey, Sue, what's going on with you? You call and create conversation. I finally found something that helps me with, and then you give your brief story. What do you know about stem cells? So that's if you're brand new, that's what you're doing today. You're calling your friends, having a conversation, you're asking that question, you're digging, you're finding out what their needs are. You're going to give a brief story about yourself and what do you know about stem cells. You're going to keep notes, and then you're going to ask them if they would be interested in taking a look at some information, and then you'll text them start x39now.com, and you're going to point out the things that you think that they should look at. And if you haven't looked at the site, that's your homework. You need to look at startx39now.com, look at the different videos, know what's where. So if they have a particular interest, you know how to direct them where to look. If they want science, you can point them there. And there's testimonials, there's all kinds of stuff in there. And then you just say, if you like what you see, text me your address and I'll send you a gift. Okay. And then you go to the gifting link and you fill out the information and you send it to me. Okay, so here Marcy's just breaking this down again. So question, bridge, question, script. What's going on with you? What are you doing for fun these days? How's work going? How's your health? You know, again, your questions will be based on your relationship with a person. People have 5 desires: health, money, time freedom, community, giving back. I got involved with this. Bottom line, I just wanted to hang out with Marcy. I was looking for community. Of course, I needed money. I worked a 9-to-5 job. I was doing okay, but I wasn't financially safe or free. If I brought my car in to get fixed and was expecting it to be 100 and they come out and tell me it was 500, that would stress me out. So all I ever wanted was an extra $2,000 a month. And I would have been very happy. And now I got to quit my job back in April. And for the first time in my life, I am financially safe. But my first desire was community. So you want to kind of dig and find out what's important to people. Let's see. Okay, so people usually have 2 things that's important to them. Most people, good health is important. If they're sick, they want their health back. And if you've already told them your story, you can't contradict yourself. It's like if you say, oh, I felt something in 5 days, and then you're talking to someone and they say, well, I didn't feel anything. You can't say, I know how you feel. I felt the same way, because you had already told them that you felt something quickly. So you want to use somebody else's story, which is why it's important to come to the testimonial calls, because you hear so many different things. You could say, oh my God, a friend of mine had that same situation, so I know how you feel. And then you can share testimonials with people. God, I hope I'm making sense. Feel free to jump in anytime with questions. So let's see. Oh, so here she's saying exactly what I just said. I finally found something that helps my friend with, so you can use somebody else as an example. What do you know about stem cells? You give a 20-second testimonial about yourself. You send them startx39now.com. So again, this is all right here. If you get stuck on something, you just go and you read through. Marcy has left nothing undone. So your exposing call, you call, what's going on with you? I finally found, what do you know about stem cells? You gather information, you send a link. If they give you their address, you send in the gift request to me and it goes out. So that's your first touch, the exposing call. The second touch, you don't even really have anything to do with it. It's me sending out the gift. So that's the second watering. The third watering is the follow-up call. So you call, and if anybody's had any experience with this, I would love someone to jump on and give me some real life examples of a call where they didn't get them or they got them, or just some real life stuff. So did you get the patches? No, they haven't come yet. So you don't say, oh, that Jan. You would say, oh, well, you'll probably get them any day, but let me remind you how to wear them. And then you can, and if you're brand new and you're not sure, all you have to do is read the gifting envelope that you probably have. And if not, you can print it from the site, startx39biz.com. But you just go over when you get them. Now, if you know what their issues are, you can direct them maybe a more specific place to put the patch, but you just pretty much go by the envelope. You wear it 12 hours on to activate, 12 hours off to repair. Tell them where to put it, and just answer any questions. So when you call for the follow-up, you ask, did you get the patches? If they say, yeah, great. Did you put one on yet? No, I wasn't sure what to do. So again, you're just going to go over all the basic stuff. Does anybody have an example that they've had that they would like to share? Anyone? No, you're going to make me do this all by myself.
I can chime in and help, Jan.
Sure.
Okay. I don't have my video on. I haven't showered yet as I've been going all day. So yeah, so just so you know, I did ask someone and she said, I didn't get the pastures yet. And I said exactly that. I said, oh, you'll be getting them within the next couple of days.
Perfect.
Jan. Gotta lighten it up. Can I just real quick interject before I share a couple experiences? Is
Yes.
Marcy okay? She's in
Huh?
California. Is Marcy okay?
Yeah, she just wasn't feeling real good this morning. So she
Okay.
called me and she got mad at me because, I'm an open book, I don't hide things really well. And I get nervous doing this. It's not my strong point. I'm good at what I do, but this isn't like my thing. And that's why Marcy's so great. She makes you do what you're afraid of.
Well,
And
you're doing fantastic,
here
Jan.
I am.
You're doing absolutely amazing. But yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
she doesn't feel well. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure with the flooding that she's safe.
yeah, no, she's safe. She lives on high ground, so she's not in any danger of
Oh,
flooding.
good. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. So what did you want an example of then?
I want an example of some follow-up calls. Either they got the patches and hadn't put them on yet, or they didn't get them, just some real life examples.
Okay, so I've experienced a little bit of all of the above, even though I'm brand spanking new. So yeah, one person said, I just got them, yay, but then she hasn't been, but I don't know, some people are in California right now, so I'm not sure they're not getting back to me yet. I know when when I got mine, Micah did an excellent job. He called me and and we just started talking and I said, well, I hadn't put them on yet because I wasn't sure. And he just walked me through it. He said, put it on right now. And then
Mhm.
did all of the same things. Make sure you wear it's 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Marcy did an excellent job when I received my first box with all my goodies when I got the gold package. And she went through every single patch. So that's a really good idea to get on a Zoom call or a phone call with them and then send them a copy of the PDF that shows all the different spots. It explains every product and then they can
Mhm.
look at it visually as they're talking to you, or get on a Zoom call and you can share the screen and share the PDF and show them the different spots. And then she also went through and said, this one you should wear at night, this one you should wear it during the day, and just kind of explain to them the difference of why you'd want to wear one at night and why you'd want to wear the other during the day, like X39, because it's, to help you build muscle and energy. You don't want to wear that at night when you're sleeping. X39 works both ways. It has really helped me sleep better. So I wear mine at night. So pick a time that works for you that you're going to remember every day. So I do mine at 7:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. And then so you want to help them find their rhythm with, the best times to wear them as well.
Mhm.
And then where they can place them. And obviously, Marcy has way more experience where she could say a lot of people are getting great results if you put the SP6 on your inner calf. But you can show them all of that with the PDF, which I think is one of the best tools that we have to share and show people all the different products and also entice them and excite them about potentially trying more products, right? And increasing their sales volume.
Yep,
I think
absolutely.
that works really, really beautifully to follow up with. And then just in what Marcy also says, if they haven't received their patches and they're going to get them within the next couple of days, go ahead and schedule that call. You should get them in the next couple of days. Let's go ahead and get it on our calendar. Let's schedule a time to call on Thursday when you should have the patches so that we can go over exactly how to wear them and answer any questions you may have.
Perfect.
So I hope that helps.
It totally helps. Yeah, I just like real life. Sometimes, Marcy and Peter, they do role playing, but they always have like these perfect scenarios and people always laugh because I get on and I like get down and dirty with like some of the real stuff that happens to some of us that aren't so professional as Marcy and Peter. So anyways, thank you so much for sharing that.
we all have the tools. And so one of my new Life Wave partners, he said, I need something to show people. And it is, and he came to the training a couple of weeks ago that Marcy had done for us. And I guess, I don't know, he told me he was slept through half of it, which, whatever, ticked me off. But now he's bugging me. I need this, I need that. And I'm like, Marcy would have bought him business cards by now, but whatever. But I know he's a lawyer and he's in court and he's doing his thing. So, we all have to make time for this, but he's super, super excited about it. He's already sold on MLM because he already did Amway. Guys, all I did was just get on a conversation with a friend, and I just started sharing about it, not even thinking about him as a partner. And he said, how can I sign up? What's the investment? I was like, oh, only $500. He's like, that's it. He's like, let's do it. I mean, it really can be that easy. Just by sharing your experience. And for me, my two reasons were, my main reasons were changing lives. I want to change lives. I want to help people. I have not had my big breakthrough moment yet, but I'm a fairly healthy person, but I have had some crazy reactions. I'm not going to lie to you. The first 5 days on the patches, all I wanted to do was eat and sleep. So I tell people the truth. I'm going to say, I tell them, and then I tell them, but then I tried X39 and I was like an Energizer bunny. So don't be honest with them, because it has not deterred people from signing up.
Right.
And it happened to another one of my brand partners who signed up, and she said, you're not kidding. So if I hadn't told her that, I'm so glad I did, because then I could say, oh my gosh, I understand exactly how you feel. Then we got Marcy and Micah involved to get on a call with her to find out what is going on, to make sure everything's okay. So all the support is there for you guys. And Jan, you're just amazing. I haven't had to ask you for anything yet, but we have all the support we need, guys. And I'm always here to help out too. I'm a closer. I've been in sales for over 25, almost 30 years. So I know how to close sales. So I'm always here to help on that aspect.
All right. Well, I'm going to come back to you on the closing part, because that's probably my weakest. The follow-up is easy because you don't feel like, you're asking the question, and that's the main thing. Anyway, so I'm going to come back to you on the closing part. So thank you so much for sharing that. Another thing that's important when you're telling people about how to wear the patches is to make sure that you tell them to drink plenty of water. And I'm just going to share a quick story of something that happened. I brought some patches to somebody who lives down the street, and she called me back 2 days later and said, God, she put it below her belly button. She had just had surgery in December. And she goes, and I started getting like this really bad cramping, like after 6 or 7 hours. And she took the patch off and the cramping went away. And that happened 2 days in a row. So I told her, I said, let's try moving the patch away, because the surgery was in her belly. So I had her try the patch at the base of her neck. And I said to just take off half of the back. Anytime you ever tell someone to just use half, you never cut the patch, right? You just take half the back off. And I told her to wear it for like 6 hours and then take it off. And then the next day, put it back on and try to go to 7 hours. And then she called me yesterday and she feels so good. She said what I recommended worked, and she's feeling great, and she's on the mends, and she was super excited. So sometimes you need to let people know that if they don't feel well, it's not typical, but it can happen. And I always think that you need to set expectations for people. I think that's really the biggest thing. And that's the way that you won't get them. Well, I don't feel anything. If you set the expectations and let them know, some people feel things quickly. Most people, it takes a while. So and I kind of jokingly say to them, so when I talk to you in a couple of days, you can't tell me that you didn't feel anything. And I have fun with it. It's like, I say, you don't feel your blood flowing. You don't feel your hair turning gray. You don't feel your wrinkles coming. So don't expect to feel the patches working instantly, just like you don't feel your vitamins working. You take them on good faith that they're doing their job. So you got to get good at setting expectations, but also you can let them know that occasionally somebody might not feel great. And if that happens, give me a call and I'll walk you through how to get around that. Okay, here are the 2 follow-up scripts I use to explain the technology.
Jan, can I
Yeah,
add something to that? Can I add something real quick to what you just said?
yes, please.
So another thing that I learned, and Marcy has kind of mentioned this, but I spoke to a woman who runs the LifeWave podcast, and she has interviewed so many experts. She is like a powerhouse of knowledge, and she explained to me what was happening to me was something called retracing.
Yes, retracing.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys touched on that, but I saw someone else say that they're interested in learning more things. And I thought this was really powerful because, when somebody, someone had said to me, well, there should be disclosures about these possible side effects. Well, if we don't know what situation you had in the past, what injuries you had in the past. And a story she shared with me, which was really powerful. She had 2 LifeWave partners, both who had had broken toes in the past. And when they started with the X39, both of them, their toes got bruised. And
Wow.
exactly. And then she did a little discovery, asked a lot of questions, and it turns out both of them had broken their toes in the past, and they must not have completely healed. So what retracing means is that if there's something going on in your body that hasn't fully healed, it will attack that area and you'll start to feel it again, just like physical therapy. When you go to physical therapy, it hurts. It hurts. But rebuilding that muscle or that injury and bringing it back to, a youthful state in this case, but bringing it back to a normal state of healing. And so that's another powerful share. If somebody, and she said she has a YouTube channel where you can go and watch all the different YouTube videos that can also help you pinpoint certain areas that your LifeWave partners might be having. So I hope that helps somebody today.
Yeah, and it's funny because sometimes I had a lady, she started the patch and she didn't feel good, and I explained it to her and she goes, well, they're just not working. And she was so close that it wasn't even worth it to try to explain. But clearly the patch was working because she didn't feel good. And it's exactly what you're talking about. We call it retracing. And the new stem cells that are waking up are fighting with the old, and you cannot feel good. So I just thought it was funny that she said, oh, these don't work. Meanwhile, she didn't feel well, but had no interest in hearing about how to get around that. Sometimes you just have to say next. Okay, so where are we? Business card. Below is a business card script to follow up.
Jan,
Yeah.
can I interject something
Please.
in regards to new people who are just starting out doing the business? When it comes to calling people, or your 10 people that you've written down, if you're feeling a little reluctant, call your upline and have a 3-way with them, because your upline knows this business. They've been doing it. They know the patches. And if we're just starting out as a newbie, this is a great way to have some backup and some support. Just wanted to interject that.
Thanks, Dawn. And that is exactly why we have the office hours, because you have people right there that if you need a 3-way, all you have to do is put it in the chat or open up your mic and say help, and you've got somebody there to help you.
I did that, Jan, with my upline, my first call, and they both had the same problem, which was great. And I just edified my upline. I kept quiet and did the sale, and it was fabulous.
Yeah, and the proper way to do a 3-way is, let's say Dawn, who's a good friend of mine and my massage therapist, and I love her madly. So let's say I was calling her and I needed Marcy. I would get Dawn on the phone first, and then I would get Marcy on the phone. And then you introduce, it's like, Dawn, I want to introduce you to Marcy, and then who Marcy is, and edify her. And then to Marcy, this is Dawn and how I know Dawn. And if there's any pertinent information that I feel Marcy should know, I would give that. And then you shut up and you let the person you introduce do the talking. Now, here's something that I've learned. If they make a mistake, if they say something that isn't 100% correct, keep your mouth shut. You never interrupt, you never correct them. It's not that important. I mean, it wouldn't be that big of a mistake that it would, I'm just saying, if they give a wrong number or something, you never correct. You just shut up and listen and take notes and watch how they do what they do. And the thing that Marcy does the best is gets to know people. She really, her ability to listen and ask questions of people and find out who they are, is why she's so good at what she does. She amazes me. Yeah, she's good.
I always ask permission though before I do a three-way in case the person's uncomfortable, but I definitely keep quiet. You can't.
Yeah, you have to ask permission. You can't just spring it on them like, hey, I have, then they feel like they're getting bamboozled. Yeah, no,
I've heard that this has happened to somebody and they were very uncomfortable. So not with me, but with somebody else. And I always ask permission.
Yeah.
May I bring on my friend so-and-so and have you talk with them? And, Amy Baker was a rock star. So I got my first sale and I felt more comfortable after that.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's always ask permission. Okay, so based on what's going on with you, would you like me? Oh, okay, so this is, where are we? Okay, so we've done the follow-up call, and on the follow-up call, that's when you can ask them if they would like you to send them a testimonial. So if they are diabetic, you can, invite them to a podcast. You always say, would you like to come to a live podcast? And they'll say yes or no. If they say, yeah, what night's better, Monday or Tuesday? And then you can go and I can show you how to do it. You go to the other tab where it says the 14 steps and you go to the tab, invite to podcast. They have the whole schedule and then they have all the individual ones. You just copy paste and you can text it to them. You can send them, if they are diabetic, you go to Telegram to the BeActivating testimonial. You can search diabetes. And I think last time I looked, there was like 47 of them. And Kathy Coker listens to every single call and she writes down everything that's on the call. So you can look and see which one might be best suited for who you want to send it to. So you just copy the information, you can send that to somebody. And then again, Marcy always asks for permission. She sends them a copy of the one page with all the products on it that I think it was Irene was talking about, where it shows the placement of the patches and it gives a little explanation about what the patches do. And Marcy likes to send the price sheet. Some people don't. That's totally up to what you're most comfortable with. And that's also a good time to recommend a couple of other patches that you think would be good for them. And this is, again, I talk about Marcy a lot because clearly I'm around her and I hear her explaining this stuff all the time. But the reason that, so when you sign somebody up on a silver kit and you click on silver kit, it automatically will put 3 X39s in the kit. Now, the name of this game is we want people to be on auto ship, right? So the reason that we ask a lot of questions is we want to fill their kit with other things besides X39 so they can get X39 the following month to keep their stem cells activated. So that's why we introduced the card with all the different products on it, and you want to find out what's going on with them. They have inflammation, you want to recommend Eon. If they have pain, Ice Wave. If they have a lot of depression or mood, I love the Nirvana patch. So you want to get familiar with the different patches so you can help recommend, so you can help fill their kits when they're ready to get going. Here's the link.
Jan, someone's asking, how do you get a third person on the phone?
Oh, it's super easy. So on your phone, if you make a phone call, let's see. You just make a call and then it will say add a call, and you just hit add a call and it will put that person that you're talking to on hold. And then you just go and you either put in their number or go to contacts, you dial that third number And then as soon as they answer, you hit merge, and then you have both people on the phone. Now, the problem is, let's say that third person you're calling doesn't answer and you have to hang up, it will disconnect the first person too, and you have to call them back. I haven't figured out how to get around that one. But yes, you just call somebody, you talk to them, you hit add call, put in the next number, and then you hit merge, and you'll have them both on the line. And if somebody needs help with that, you can call me and we can do it together. I hope that answered that. Okay, so we talked about the exposing call. The second touch is me mailing out the gift. The third touch is the follow-up where you're calling, they got the patch, and you're going to go over how to wear them, how to put them on, to drink water, all that good stuff. You're going to ask them if they'd like, to send a testimonial link, invite them to a testimonial. Would they like more information on the other patches? And then let's see, where are we? Oh, so here she's telling you if you want to invite them to a testimonial, you go to startx39biz.com. Under the 14 steps, you go to tab 5, and you can just pick whatever link you want to send. So you just right click, copy. You can either email, instant message, text it to somebody. So that's how you do that. So she's giving you all the directions. Okay, so objection handling. Oh, I didn't feel anything. So I already sort of talked about that. And again, when you can get really good at setting expectations, you shouldn't even get that anymore. Well, I didn't feel anything. Well, of course you didn't feel anything. It was 5 days. And then you're going to say, like I said, I like to say, you don't feel your blood flowing. You don't feel your vitamins working. You don't, feel your hair growing. If you're told you have cancer, you didn't just get cancer. You've probably had cancer growing in your body for a couple of years before you have your first symptom. So why do you think that you're going to feel your body start healing in 5 days? It's a process. So here she's telling you how to handle. Now, again, if you already told them your story and that you had results in 5 days, you can't say to them, I know how you feel. I felt the same way, because then you look like a liar. So you have to use somebody else's story. My friend had the same thing. She didn't feel anything for over a month, but she believed in me and she kept using them. And now this is what's happened for her. So the 5 days is just the beginning of your journey. That's why the owner inventor offers a 30-day money back guarantee. So there's absolutely no risk to you. And then last Saturday, Dr. Stacy did a really good training on how she does all this. And she does a lot of things slightly different than Marcy. If you didn't hear the training from Saturday, you should go listen to it because it was really good. I need to re-listen and take notes on it. She doesn't even talk about the 30-day money back guarantee. There's a lot of things that she doesn't do. Is this network marketing? I don't get that too much anymore. Has anybody gotten that recently? Curious.
I haven't, and I got it with all my other companies. I have not gotten it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that either. And I love when someone says, is this an MLM? I love the answer. Yeah, make lives matter. So, but it's the same thing. I know how you feel. If Marcy had come out with that first night we had dinner and she had told me that this was another, well, I sort of knew, but if she had approached me from the point of another network marketing, there was no way. I had done several before. I love the industry. I believe in it. I mean, you look at all the millionaires that it's made and the products are great. I just was never really great at it. So the thought of doing yet another one and not being successful, I wasn't into that. But the way she presented it to me, it's like knowing your audience. The gifting program is like, oh, I can give a gift. That makes sense to me. So that was super. Sorry, my daughter's calling me. So she knew how to dance with me. She always talks about dancing the way your partner wants to dance. And again, that's Marcy's genius. She really knows how to read people and meet people where they're at. But I really don't get that. And if somebody says, oh, is this network marketing? Another great response is, wow, you must have had an experience. Tell me about that. You know, it's like, find out what their issue was with a previous company. Another objection is Google says it's a bad product. I don't get that one either. But every company I've ever been in, there's always negative talk about a product. And when you click on those links, that whoever puts that out gets paid when you click on the link for saying something negative, and it ultimately leads you to something that they're selling. So I just always direct them to, you know, scholar.google.com to get the real information. Why is it cheaper on Amazon? You know, same thing. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Most of the stuff there is illegal. You know, you can explain why that happens. A lot of people just buy it, they're not successful, and they want to sell their patches on to get rid of them. They could be counterfeit. You don't get any money back guarantee. You get no customer service. Okay, so we've got just a few minutes left. So we're going to go to the closing call, and this is where I'm going to have Irene come back in a moment and have her give us her expertise. So the closing call, so you call, hey, did you look at the testimonial link I sent you? No, I didn't have time. Well, my innate nature is to get mad or defensive, and obviously you can't do that. It's like, yeah, no problem. Did you go to the podcast I sent you? Oh, I couldn't do that either. Anyone have any of this stuff happen to them, and how did you deal with it? Just curious. Ask them, did they look at the one-page summary? Oh yeah, I did. I liked the Eon or the Nirvana. Did you look at the price list? So I would like to know from somebody if you got no's to all this and how you handle that. Has anyone had that, Irene?
I'll jump in on the no to the patching podcast testimonial call.
Okay.
All you need to say is no problem. Here's the recording. Let me know what you think about it.
Okay.
Is easy for that.
Okay, and then how would you continue with the rest of the closing call if they haven't done anything that you sent them?
Well, if they've done nothing, you know, they go to my 2-week list or my 2-month list. And then I'll reach back out again and say, hey, just wanted to follow up, see if you've had any chance to look at this amazing technology.
Okay.
Yeah, just a quick 1-sentence, 2-sentence kind of thing. Because we're not begging people. We're not begging people.
Okay, so I want to do a quick role play with you. So you call me, I had the patches, you sent me all this stuff, and you call me up and ask me these questions.
Hey, Jan, girl, how you doing? Did you get your package in the mail I sent you?
I did. Yeah, I started using the patches. Haven't really noticed anything yet.
Well, did you read the instructions and you know you need to be drinking your water when you're patching, and you patch for 12 hours on, 12 hours off? Are you giving your body that 12-hour rest?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I haven't really noticed anything.
Well, good. Well, you know what? Most people don't, Jan, because 50% of the people don't feel anything until our clinical studies show at about that 3 to 6 week mark is when people start noticing maybe better night's sleep, maybe some pain reduction. So just girls, stick with it. It's some life-changing technology. Can I share anything and any other information with you? Have you looked at the pricing?
No, I know you sent me all that stuff. I just haven't looked at it.
Well, girl, when you are ready to dig into it, make a list of questions and let's get back together and schedule another call, and I'll get all your questions answered for you.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that was great, Leah. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I wanted. Irene, did you have something that you want to share with us about closing?
Yes. So that was great, Leah. Thank you so much for that. Absolutely. And, you know, follow up is key. I mean, that really is the key to success. So I've had the situation a couple of times One person has cancer. So I really want to get her on this. And they said, we're not real tech savvy. We haven't watched the videos yet. We're going to block out time this week to give it our undivided attention. So I reminded them that it's a 1-minute video and a 3-minute video. It's only 4 minutes of your time. Then I found another video, and it was actually Marcy sent me a 30-minute video with her real life story and situation. So go back and find another testimonial. So yesterday I met somebody, Destiny came into one of my clubhouse rooms, and she shared a story about how she went blind in her right eye. And I have a friend who's going blind in the UK, and she's reluctant to order even the free gift right now. She wants to do some more research. And I was able to follow up with her with another testimonial of a similar situation. So the more testimonials, that's a perfect follow-up. Hey, I just found another resource that can help you. Or I just met another person who had a similar situation as you. I'd love to share the testimonial, or I'd like to introduce you. Now, when you're just talking sales 101, one thing that works, and I'm sorry, I have a sore throat. One thing that works really effectively is not to ask yes or no questions. So give them a choice. So how we've successfully closed a few of my new brand partners is we didn't say, are you ready to get started? We said, would you like to get started with the silver or the gold? So then in their mind, they're not thinking, no, they're thinking, well, wait a minute. So what do you get in the silver again? What do you get in the gold again? I see. Okay, great. And we can add these and we can that. Okay, yeah, let's go with the silver then today. So not asking them yes or no, but asking them, which would you want to get started with? And when scheduling a follow-up call, you never want to say, how does Friday at 1 p.m. work for you? You want to always give an option. Does Thursday at 2 p.m. work better for you? Or would Friday at 1 p.m. work better for you? And then they might say, oh, neither of those. Can we do it in the morning? Perfect. So never give them an opportunity to say no to you. Always offer them an option.
Awesome. Thank you so much. God, I really appreciate everybody jumping in here and helping. I personally like it better when you hear other people's real life experiences. It just gives us more tools and different viewpoints, and I just think it's super helpful. So
And I go to Telegram all the time looking for what my customer or potential customers' issues are, and I'll send them certain podcasts. And usually they don't make the podcast. I don't know why. I'm going to find out how to get people on them, because live, it's so, you can feel the energy, but I do send them what they're saying they have, and I give them choices. So hopefully they're watching them, and I'll check back with them, or I'll say, I don't wait. I'll give them a couple days and I'll check back with them. Did you watch it? What did you like about it? What was your favorite part? Nothing negative,
Awesome.
So that's what I do. I love Telegram.
Yeah, Telegram. And if anybody needs help with it, if they don't understand how to join the different groups or how to search for something, you can call me after office hours, and I'm happy to help you with that. As always, Marcy says, if you need help with anything, who are you going to call? It's me. And people do all day long. It's 6 o'clock in the morning because people forget I'm in California and they're back east. But I love it. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording. And I'm going to, what am I doing? Stop share. Okay, so for all, I stopped. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the office. Marcy is a little under the weather today, so you get me. So I will be running the office, and I have the beautiful Jenny helping me out, letting people in. So if you're brand new, I got slammed yesterday with patches. I think I had over 130 orders, which just took all the patches that I had. we have more coming in, so I'm going to request that if you're brand new to this and you haven't done a lot of gifting and you don't have a lot of gifts out, you can go ahead and do the 3 requests a day, 3 today. So that means you can, if it's a husband and wife, that counts as 2 gifts. And if you, I'll put everything in chat, how to get the gifting form link. And again, to get the gifting form link, you go to startx39biz.com. You go to the second blue tab that says we work the power of 3. You scroll down to where it says the training, the office training guide. And then you scroll till you see the gift form request. You just open it. The code word for the day is, let's see, dog, because my house smells like wet dog.
Jan, I have a question.
Yeah.
The gifting bag that I got from you, that black bag, is that the actual gift, or is it just the little packets with the patches and the card?
The gift that, are you talking about belly to belly or what I send out?
What you send out.
I send out the gifting envelope,
Okay.
person's name on the back with your phone number.
Okay.
It's empty because I don't have patches to put in it. So I'm waiting to fill it.
And then whatever patches are needed.
I only send out X39
Got it.
unless it's a specific request that's been okayed by either Marcy or myself. And then I also put in the what to expect card. And that's what I mail out on your behalf. So,
Okay.
and for the
Got it.
return address, I've had a couple of people ask if I could use their personal return address. The answer is hell no. It would take me way too much time to do that. So I have LifeWave activation patches, so that it's identified from LifeWave and its patches. My name, Jan Rand Admin, so you can tell them that's what to look for. And again, if it comes back to me in the mail, I will take a picture. This is what I do. I take a picture of the envelope with your name showing, and then it will have something from the post office saying why it got sent back. So I'll take a picture of this and I will email or I'll text it to you with a note saying, got this back, please advise. And if you
Candy,
tell
I'm
me, yeah, go
sorry to
on.
interrupt. Did you want the recording still on? I thought you said you were turning it off.
I thought I